All right, I'm back. And Mix D Exodus. Newsflash, you got a 2-month internship at the company you had a job interview with. Awesome! Congratulations so much. That is great to hear. Welcome to the industry. I hope that you have a great time and then get to move on from that internship to a full time position. All right, so where were man? It's been a while since we did this. Yeah, because last week I was out sick, and the week before was the conference, and then the week before that I got sick again. So what's up with that, right? So it was a lot of fun. I basically came back in, I guess it was Friday, so not last week, but the week before on Friday. Came back in. CTO was sick, um, but it had come in because he was about to go on travel. And then we all got sick. And when I say all, I mean over half the company was out at one point in time because we were sick. And ironically, this somehow included a contractor that we have in Russia. So he was sick too. It was it, it really does show the importance of not coming into work when you're sick, because when over half the company gets sick, that can be devastating. Yes, I am feeling so much better. Really like taking that time off and doing just like letting myself sleep in, not going into work. That really helps a lot. So, what has been going on here? Well, today is a holiday in the United States, so I don't have to go into work, which I don't know if that means I'm going to spend too much more time this morning streaming, but I might do a bonus stream this afternoon. Probably not for like this project, but I have another one that I'm starting to work on that I might stream out. Maybe we'll play a game. I still have that Factorio game that I want to continue playing, which I just haven't been putting time into. So, with that, let's see where we are because I kind of forgot. I do remember we are. All right, and my computer just today decided to not properly load up its second display, so I have to mirror displays, which is not fun. Um, the new display is like so I got a new monitor and it's really nice, because it allows me to hook up multiple devices and I can just switch through really easily. But unfortunately, it's not doing the multiple displays when I'm attaching to my PC for streaming. So that's not cool. All right, we are going to Nature of Code. This is the book that we're going through. I'm choosing this one because I really do like the coding train, and I really do like this book. I've only gone through a bit of it before in the past, and so I figured why not convert a bunch of these examples to Rust to sort of get myself back into Rust. And so this is what we're doing this time: the random number distribution. So Factorio is like Civilization. You swear you'll play it for 2 hours. Next thing you know, it's 2 weeks later. Yes, although personally, I've never really found that I had that problem. I don't know, something about me just is easy to sort of like drop things temporarily and then just move on to something else. But I guess that's good because I don't get addicted to games quite as much. But the negative is I rarely drop into flow when like programming either. So something about the same level. All right. So what does this mean? Well, it looks like what we had done before. Created a new game. So here's our game structure. We're just creating a new thing. We're figuring out what we need to do. We need to store a vector that's 20 length. We have just a very basic update and draw and a very basic main. I'm really curious if we actually got anything working here. So cargo run. So I mean it compiles, but empty blank screen, not necessarily the best. I also was playing around last night with Rust and Mesh Builder as opposed to Mesh, and so that looks like it's going to be a little tiny bit easier when creating our shapes. But again, it's going to be a little bit interesting. I do want to switch over to using a library system, and I need to remember how to do that. So let's see, Rust Lang library. Oh, well, of course, there's too many. Here it is, Rust by example library. Wait. That's like creating a completely new library? I want to just create library files. You just need a lib.rs. Okay, it's not like a folder. So I could just do new file in here, lib.rs. I want a public function. Let's do this as like a test. If I have, here, I'll just do this. Library function test. We're gonna not, we could take in a string. So what will this be? This will be a, my string, which type is gonna be a reference to a string str. We're not gonna return anything. And we're just gonna print line my string. So I think this is all I need in here. Then in main, I need to use it. What did we call this? The package name is i2. Is it? No, that's not what I wanted. Like that. And then in main, I want to call test and pass in testing the test function. Use of undeclared module. Oh, wait, do I have to use like extern crate? I thought you didn't need to do that anymore. All right, let's do Rust Lang live.rs. That's from 2014. I don't think we can trust that. This is from 2018. That's going to be a little bit better. Use create name file star, the Swiss. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, and good morning. Oh, is it literally just crate instead of the name of my crate? No, that can't be right. Okay. Use create name file. Well, name file is lib.rs, so would it be the, I mean, because I just have lib. I can't imagine that works either, though. Yeah. It still doesn't know what this is. And even if I say create, maybe Mr. missing a extern crate lib. So do I have to have an extern crate? This isn't the problem, but I would change the name of test. That might be, oh, a namespace problem. Okay. Well, at the very least, that I could see how that could be a problem. So this is my testing function. So do I need to extern crate that? Cannot find crate. Okay, so can't find this crate. I mean, I don't think I could say lib, because it's like the full crate there. Change the name lib.rs to random numbers rs. Oh, okay. So we want to rename you lib.rs to like random numbers. Now, does that mean I can use use random numbers testing? Testing. Unresolved import. Use a, okay, so I still have to use an extern crate, I think. Extern crate and the numbers. Yeah, I remember us needing the lib.rs. Okay. At this point, I think we need to go look it up. Lang. What do we? Okay, so I need external crate. Also, I can make you dark. Use crate random numbers. I mean, I could try it. But it's still use crate random numbers testing. If I don't have you. Expected one of colon colon or semicolon or as. Oh, use crate colon colon. Oh, like that. Unresolved import, crate random numbers. Maybe missing extern create random numbers. Okay. And then here it's saying can't find the crate for this. All right, let's. All right, do we know where it is? Live.rs. All right, where are we gonna create the new live.rs? So we're still in main.rs. Main.rs, main.rs. Okay, so here we create a live.rs and we just put stuff into here. So I have my public function. So that's fine. And then in main.rs, use name the crate config. That's all it has. So what would this be? This is back to live.rs. And then I want to use. Now, so this is the name of the entire project, which is what I have here. I wonder if this name is not good. Also config, they're just exporting this config here. All right, I want to run this to see what error we get. Oh wait, okay. Hold on. You're testing that. So, oh, I need to change this. Is it working? Testing the test function. Okay, so that works. So we're getting that problem we got a long time ago, which is VS Code has decided that this is an error and is just going to leave that as an unresolved import, even though we're importing it. So yay for false negatives. Come on, VS Code. You're supposed to like, you know, prove that I don't have to use like CLion or anything else. I usually avoid how many RAM uses. I don't know. I mean, CLion always brought my computer down to a slow, like a crawl, so I usually just give up. These pains remind you to stay humble as a programmer? Yeah, definitely. All right, well this is fun. I could try CLion sometime again to see if it's better on Linux now. And also better on my eyes, because I usually have trouble finding anything in that interface. Okay. So, yay, you work. Cool. Well, what this means for us is we can do star here. If we do star, then whatever we put in as like a public function will just be available to us inside of main here. And here we're not going to have, I mean, testing should still work now. Cannot find function testing in this scope. You still exist, so I want to verify. Yes, of course, still works. That's what I thought. It's just that, and so it's not really VS Code, it's RLS. RLS is just not working properly in this instance. But what do we want to do? We probably want to take this struct and move this out into the library, which would also put this thing into the library. So yeah, all right. So I'm going to take this, cut that out, cut you out, put you in here, which means you get a public struct game. We'll implement on game. We have a public function new, and these. We also need to pull in this stuff. So use GGEZ. So what do we need? Context. We need event handler. Game result. And graphics. All right, I think that's enough there. And then over here, we don't need you. Oh, wait, context. Need context builder, so we don't need you anymore. Don't need you. And don't need an event handler. All right. No event handler in the root. Oh, do we need event handler in the root? Oh no, that's off of event handler, isn't it? Like that. All right. Okay, so we're back to where we began with, but now we have a library. And I think that if I wanted to, I don't necessarily want to like have another, like this structure broken out like this. This will stay in the main library. But if I want to have any like other structure, like for example, I'm thinking that each of these would be a structure on its own. And then we can initialize 20 of them. And so we'll just tell them like, how wide are you and how tall are you? And then and maybe your start position, like which number you are. I don't know if we need start position because the vector might hold that. It's like, okay, you're just the first positions, therefore you're right here. That might be all we care about. Katali, good morning. I am better now. Thank you very much. Isn't that too much? A little too much. I mean, yeah. Yes, it's too much of an extraction, but it's fun, right? I probably shouldn't pre-optimize that. It's the root of all evil, as we know. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We want to probably just build a rectangle and display it on the screen because we have, that's always fun in GGEasy because we have this like entire mesh that we have to build. So let's build that here in draw. So we have draw like this. We probably also want to clear. So graphics. Is it canvas? I need to remember how to clear the canvas. Oh, here it is. So it's graphics clear. So graphics clear is a function. We pass it the context, and then we pass it a color, which in this case is going to be our enum graphics. We'll just use black. I'm surprised that doesn't return a game result. So this will reset, everything will be black, and then we'll go through and so we want to at this point, let's just draw any kind of rectangle, which means we need a mesh builder. So mesh builder has the actual documentation in it, so it's a little bit easier to read. And we're going to use new. So let's see where this is. Basically mesh, new, and then we just create it. This is a circle. So new line, new circle, ellipse, polyline, polygon, rectangle. Here we go. Then we have this bound, which is a type rect. So it looks like we need to create a new rect under graphics, and then we're going to pass that in. So let's see, I'll just call this rectangle equals graphics rect new. Let's create this right when we draw this. It's going to be drawn somewhere else. So this is, we're probably always going to use 0.0 here. Wait, not for width and height. For width, let's use like 20, and for height we'll use like 60. See where that is. What is its return? Self. So just like that. That gives us our rectangle, but we need to draw I mean, do I need a mesh with it? Or can I now do this, do the graphics draw, and just hand it the rectangle, which I'm not confident I can do. I think I still need a mesh, but let's try this just to see what happens. So graphics, draw, we'll give it our context, our reference to our drawable, so that's our rectangle, and parameters, which this is super interesting. So this is a tuple where we need to give it the location of where it's going to be. So if I do this, we also need to bring in, if I do this, use GGEZ, NA algebra, 0.2. So let location equals 0.2 of like 50.0, 100.0. So 50 over, 100 down. And now here we'll put in our location, and we need that comma for the other stuff. First and third tilted by 1 rating. Okay, so we don't want this tilted. So 0.0, so no tilt. And what color? So graphics white. Let's see if we got ourselves a rectangle. No, okay, immediate error. The trait graphics drawable is not implemented for graphics. Okay, right. So I do need a mesh. So we just, this is a raw rectangle, but we need like a let rectangle mesh equals graphics mesh mesh builder new, and then we put dot rectangle. Okay, our mode, draw mode. So this is gonna be graphics. I think you also have an error with 0.2. Will I? Oh no. Well, let's get there until we like get that error, and then we'll see it. Okay, so we have graphics. What are you? We are. This is the draw mode. Fill. I think that's just an enum, right? Yeah, okay, so fill options. So are you like that? Our bounds, this is going to be a 0.2. Oh no, so we have mode. Our bounds is the rectangle. So the rectangle, and then the color. No, not window. White. And then we want to build context like that. Now rectangle mesh is what we put in here. All right, let's say if we do have an error with 0.2. Expected 1 parameter for dot rectangle. Oh, we need okay, so fill. Wait, I need something for fill? Graphics draw mode filled, expected 1 parameter. Oh, and also here, yeah, here's the error with 0.2. So found type alias point. Oh, 0.2 new. Yeah, that's what I failed to do. 0.2 new. Where else am I using that? Nowhere. Oh yeah, I need to turn that on. All right, line 28. Build context. Lowercase fill. Oh, wait, that's not line 20. Oh, it is line 28. I highlighted line 29. Okay, so fill like this. There we go. Look at that, we have a rectangle. All right, well, this is fun to create. It does make me wonder where, like, just because of this, whether or not I want to create like a rectangle structure just to abstract this away. But I might be able to do a bunch of this stuff separately. So when I create the rectangles, what do I need? The mesh is all that really matters. So this is going to be the real location. And this location will just be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So they're all going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then need a bunch of them to be right next to each other. So I need to move you and put you down here. And its starting point is at the top. So I need to calculate how high it is and then put it there, and then it grows from there. Got my mute on just in case. But I think there's still a really loud thing when I unmute it because it's a physical button on the microphone itself, which is not the best. But at least I didn't sneeze into the mic. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Let's now put this rectangle in here. So do I want to have this be a vector at this point in time? Why not? We'll do a vector of rectangles. And for each rectangle, so for each vector, we're going to loop through and we're going to create these. Which then means we're also going to draw it. Can I get this with a border around it? How do I create a border? So I know it's maybe the fill, or maybe I can just do a new circle that's a new color. So that's the color here. And we can make the color a random color, and then that will make it so we can see each color very easily. Okay, so rectangle, we have to create this. This looks like we can probably store this in the in the struct, unless there's like ownership problems. I don't think there would be, but we'll find out. This is gonna be a new rect, so let's just create a single one in here. So my rectangle is gonna be a rect. And then so that when I create this new, we're going to, we can start at 0. Well, actually, these all start at 0. So we're just going to do the same size. I'm going to take you, rectangle, and you're going to be set equal to this. Okay. We're going to return the new to game object. So you're going to be set now equal to self.rectangle, which means I don't really need you at all if I'm just like taking ownership away from that. At that point, you become self.rectangle. You should struct it in a way that lets you update the dimensions of the rectangle at any point. Yes. Well, I mean, that will be coming up. I first want to like abstract this out one layer at a time, and then I'll be doing that too, because I need to build like say, okay, increment size, and I'll just add 1 to the height. That'll probably be a method we add to game, unless I create like a rectangle structure. So here's our location of where it's actually going to be. So this is just a new point. So we'll do the real location. So I'll just call this location. And this is a point 2. Location, this is going to be a point 2. This will also need to be changed and sort of like set dynamically based upon the size. So that'll be interesting too. In fact, that means that we may not want to set it here. Okay, so 0.0x, and let's bring it down towards the bottom. So we would need the height and then subtract the width. I don't know what that is, so I'll just do 100.0 right now. And I'll figure this out as we go along. So location is now gone. Then we create our rectangle mesh. Can I store, do you have access to the dimensions of the window? If you have, yeah, I do in a context. So I need to store this. So context is context. Just store the context like that. Can I put the mesh into the structure, into the struct too? Rectangle mesh, graphics, mesh builder new, rectangle. So we're just filling it. We're giving it that rectangle. Why? Yeah, I think we do. No, because we're going to be rebuilding this. It's like this mesh needs to be recreated over and over and over again, but with different sizes. So this rectangle can stay here because we're going to update this point. Probably not. We probably really want to just do set like a width. Hold on, it'll be up here. You want to set a width, which is an F32, and a height, which is an F32. So width is going to be like 1020.0, and a height, which is going to be, let's say 100.0 to be a little bit bigger. Then we have the context that we can use the context to like figure out where to draw it. I'm actually not sure we need to store it now because we have the context in here in the updates and draws too, which is where it's going to be really important. So now I think we need to like put this back. So we're going to create a new rectangle mesh. We tell it that we're going to fill self.rectangle, which means we need to create a new rect. So this is going to be, let's put that here. Let's do this in multiple lines. Width could be total width divided by 10, so all the rectangles fit perfectly. Yeah, that's probably what we'd want to do, is like take the number of rectangles we want and then divide by the width of the entire viewport so that, yeah, they do all fit perfectly. I'm sort of iterating my way towards that though right now. Shoot, mesh, graphics, draw mode, fill. So then we have, this is the rectangle shape itself. This is gonna be the rect, new. And so this will be the X location. So I need like the X across. I don't know, do I want to do that here or probably some math in this point? So if I say something like, well, wait, this will always be 0.0. 0.0. The width will be self.width and the height will be self.height. And then we'll make that a white for right now. And then we build it with the context. We handle the result. Then we draw the rectangle mesh. All right, let's try this again. Where cannot find value location? Oh, right, because we have this location right here. It's your self.location. Also location point 2. One type argument, we need to give it the turbofish syntax. This is an F32. And context expected struct, GG context. Oh, found mutable reference. It's line 20. So when I'm passing in the context here, does this need to be the struct can't take ownership of it because it's just a reference to it. So I don't actually know if I can store it, the context perfectly. I don't actually think I need to store it here because I have access to it, the context, in the update and draw functions, which is where it's really important. I can make decisions based upon this. I just won't store it. So the fun of lifetimes begins. Yes, yes, indeed it does. All right, so here we are with this 0, 0. And so that's because of this point right here. Well, I'm just skipping the fun with lifetimes by just refusing to play that game right now. Because when you play the game of life, Rust wins. No, actually, I think that we may want to store some things like the entire width of the... Actually, no, because that should be on the context itself, which when we need it will be in draw. So let's not worry about that. Can't win if you don't play. I mean, that's true. That is true. But Rust always wins. Because even when we win, Rust wins. All right. So we have this. Now let's create a bunch of them side by side. So if I want to do, or actually maybe I should come down here and create at the bottom. So we know the height of this is 100, meaning that we need to figure out the context. I'm guessing this is off of graphics. And I just need to figure out what the size of the window is. Oh, look at this. Screen coordinates. Returns a rectangle defining the coordinate system of the screen. So there's that. I don't know if that's what I want. Drawable size. Well, that sets the window size resolution. I don't want to set the window size resolution. You think it's on event? There's that. So I don't want to set. Okay, size. Returns the size of the window in pixels as width height, including borders, tighter bar. Oh, see, I don't want the borders and title bar. Window. Returns a reference to the gluten window. Ideally, you should not need to use this because GGAZ would provide all the functions you need. Okay, well. Do you think it's an event? I don't necessarily see things that would be off of here. It would make sense to be on graphics though, right? Because like I care about the size of the screen, which is a graphics thing. What do we got here? So this is the screen coordinates. Let's try, you found it in the first project of the book. The random walker one. Oh, I did, didn't I? We can go just take a look at that. I.1. Drawable size, that width and height. So we're using drawable size here to figure that out. All right, well, drawable size it is. Returns the size of the windows underlined, drawable in pixels as width height. Okay, so that's perfect. And it returns a tuple or tuple of F32s. So I could store those in here as like the window width and the window height, or I could just grab it again each time when I need it down here. So if I want to draw this like at the bottom, we have the width and height. So the height is all we need. So let's get this out of graphics clear. Let's do this here. Let's window width, window height equals graphics drawable size. There we go. Context doesn't return a result. So now we have access to this one. If I want it to be at the very bottom, I want to take the height of self and subtract it from the window height. So it's in this draw here. Self.locations. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is going to have to be a new point, because we don't really need this location anymore. We're going to now say here, this is a point 2. Let's go ahead and multi-line this. New, all right, so for x, we need the x coordinates of this. So I'm just gonna set this to 0, 0, 0 right now. And then we want it down at the bottom, so that's going to be the window height subtracted from the self.height. And that should be at the bottom. Okay, so that gives us down here at the bottom. And now I should make this be able to grow by every single tick, updating the height here. So I have a mutable self. Let's now go self.height equals self.height plus 1. Now this should grow. No, oh, 1.0. No, stop. Stupid accidentally hitting end and home because it's on the right of the keyboard. Hey, that works. It was maybe a little bit faster than we wanted it to be, but it worked. I could make this a little bit easier to see if I do like 0.01. That'll be a little bit slower. Help must have an integer part. Oh, interesting. So I can't do .01. I have to do 0.01. And there we go. So we have this drawing correctly, and now growing at the top. So now we need a whole bunch of them. Which means a vector. So each vector, we already know what the width is, so that we just need a vector of the heights, don't we? So we can just call this heights, and this is going to be a vec of f32s. Heights, this is going to be, what is it? Vec bang square brackets, I think. So if I do like 15.0 and 25.0 and 100.0, that should give me 3 of them right next to each other. I'm not going to update them at this time. Then what do I want to do? I want to loop through all of the heights. So we're clearing the graphics. We're looping through all the heights. Beginning the width. We need to create the meshes and draw them. So we're going to loop inside of here. This is what we're going to do in the loop. Okay, so I need to remember how to loop through this. I think it's, isn't there, is it like for in? Do I have to do a let, or is it just the variable name? I can't remember. Let's see, we're gonna call this the rectangle height in self.heights. See if this works. For name and okay, so it's just what I thought. Thank you, stacking. And then you all will go into here. So we're going to create our rectangle mesh. We're going to fill graphics rect new. So of course it's going to be 0, but we're going to set with, well, self.width, because we know what they're all going to be the same width. And then the height is really just going to be this rectangle height. Set the graphics to white. We're going to build at, then we're going to immediately draw it to the screen. So then context, our rectangle, reference to the rectangle mesh, create a new point, 0.0. So this is also going to have to change. So we're now going to have to set it to the width, self.width multiplied with the position that we're on right now. So I need the index of this, which, if I remember correctly, is, oh geez, no, I don't remember it correctly. It's, oh, what is it? I did it not too long ago. To get the tuple of the index, it's gonna be like this. Index. This is gonna be rest lang for loop. This is the book. This may not be what I want. Oh, enumerate. Yes, enumerate. So just dot enumerate. Oh, it's index first. Or what this? Where did I put the index? Because that's clearly not, I clearly put it in the wrong place. You're gonna go here. Index there. self.heights dot enumerate, like that. Line 32, yeah, that's not the right place. Thank you. Thank you, DBC. So now we're going to multiply this with the index. Ooh, but the index is going to be an actual. I won't be able to do this. I have to do. Is it dot into? Can I do that? Let's find out. Let's see what happens. Soft width, so we're going to set that as the width. The height is still going to be window height, but instead of self.height, this is now just going to be the rectangle height. And then we have the graphics white. Let's see what happens. Enumerate. No method named that. So our vector doesn't have enumerate on it. So that's cool. Let's go find out. We want restlang vector enumerate. Okay, so we need it on the iterator. So apparently we don't have an iterator on just the vector itself. Oh, do I have to like convert the vector into an enumerator first? Dot iter, yeah, so okay. Dot iter to convert it into an iterator, and then we can run enumerate on it. So dot iter returns an iterator over the slice. That's what it is. And then dot enumerate. That gives us this. Let's see if we got anything. Mismatch types. Expected F32 found a reference to F32. So for a rectangle height, so we need to dereference this. Do I dereference it here or do I dereference it? It's the rect new. So I think that was the star, right? Going to multiply. Oh, it didn't like that at all. Type annotations required, cannot resolve F32 as standard operations. Multiply with an output into F32. Okay, so it didn't like this. So index.into, not cool. Isn't there, can I do like F32 dot also? And there's also the as. There's also like the index as F32. I remember like there was those 3 or 4 different ways to do it. Okay, so that's not how to do it. Let's try the as. Is that? Am I thinking of this correctly, or am I just need to go look it up? Hey, take a look at that. So we've got our stair steppiness, and they're next to each other. So the as worked. I don't know if that's the best practice. This feels wrong. I vaguely remember being told that as was not the right way to do it, that into was a better way, but it works. So we have that at least. Let's also make each of these a random color. You forget the difference between the two off the top of your head? Yeah, it's been long enough that I can't remember it all. So I could just wait until someone tells me. If you do know the difference and you're watching this either right now, just let me know. Or if you're watching the VOD, leave a comment below and let me know what the appropriate way to convert this would be. Or if this is the right way, let me know that too. Okay, so random colors. That should be off of graphics. Oh wait, I'm not in GG's. Graphics is, where's color? And RGB alpha color there's new, so red, green, black, alpha. And apparently I can handle a whole bunch of different types of numbers to do that. That's cool. I would need to set I would want to set each color separately. So how would I do that so it's not new each time, which I mean, I can make them all start white and then become more red as they go taller. That could be interesting. I don't think I necessarily want that. So if I want them to all have a unique color, the problem that I have here is either I'm going to have to create a new vector, or it might want to be like a vector of things in here, which at that point I want to just create a struct for the rectangles. Because if I do a new color in here that's random each time, then it's going to be completely terrible. Color from RGB, random gen range. Well, yes, that will give me the random color. The difference is from is purely lossless, whereas can be either. Can be either or. Oh, interesting. Oh, and you know what? I didn't try from. Is it dot from or is from a function? I can't remember. Or use the hue. Well, and so that it's a good idea, Kotali, but I guess like the problem that I'm running into here is how am I going to store this? Because I could do this as colors and make this another vec, and make this a graphics color like that. F32 : from probably. If I remember, I'll come back to it and try it out. All right, so new, then in here, we could try with these three. So we'll do colors, no, another vector. So let's create the first one. This is going to be graphics, color, new, red. So let's just do like this will be pure red. 250.0, 0.0. What's alpha? Oh, 0 to 1. So it's not 250. It's 1.0. 0.000. Alpha should be an 1.0. I want it to be fully... So U will be 0.0, 0, 0, 1.0. So that gives us the index of this. So we can use the index down here to also get access to this colors. And so instead of this graphics white, we'll just do self.colors of position index. Let's try this and see if we get different colors. No, we do not. Okay, unexpected token. Wait, did I forget a comma? A comma there, comma. Hey, look at that. RGB. All right. So I'm a little bit concerned about just storing this in a completely separate vector here, because if I screw up the creation of this vector and they're different sizes, then that's a problem. I have no idea if I know the Rust compiler is good at preventing me from shooting foot guns into myself. I wonder if this would actually, this could be a foot gun though. I do believe that the best practice would be to create a struct that stores the color and the height and the width. But let's not worry about that. Let's try this from now. There's a way to create good-looking colors setting a common hue, but you don't know how to do that on GGEZ. These are just RGB. You know, I've never really played with hue very much in any of my stuff, so I don't really understand RGB, hue colors. I don't see anything here. Might be something interesting to ask later. Is there a hue? Or maybe I can look through the issues in GitHub to see if anybody has asked for it and if it has been created. I'm not going to worry about it. But okay, what were we going to try? We were going to try the from. So where was that? Oh, F32 from, probably. So this here is index as F32. So if I do index from, or is it going to be F32 from index? Oh, the trait standard convert from usize is not implemented for F32. Interesting. So from doesn't work, but as does. that's actually very interesting. So that is a way to do it. It just doesn't work because usize doesn't implement from as a trait. I guess you can't lose anything. Yeah, probably. So what was this? Index as F32. Because I do remember there's that like string from to like pull out string from strs. But we're just not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so we have this. Let's create 20 of these. So we know we want 20 of these vectors. We know they're all going to start at 0 height, which means that we need to maybe do let heights equals, oh, we need a loop through first. So for index, like, I actually don't think we need to care about this right now. Because we're all going to set them at 0, 0, essentially. In 0 dot dot 20. It's exclusive, so it's inclusive at the beginning, exclusive at the end. So that should still be 20 of them. And then we're going to push into, so we need to create our vector. So let mute heights equals vec of that. I don't know if I want to do like vector new, and it'll figure out what it is as we're throwing these in here. I'm gonna do heights dot. Is there a push? There is a push. Appends an element to the back of the collection. That's fine. And 0 dot 0. Also, does push return? Okay. No result we need to handle. My alarm is going off to get ready for the end of the stream, but I am not going to because I don't have to worry about going to work today. So let's keep on going. All right, so we're going to push in all of these. These are going to be our heights. Now we also need to push in colors because we need to make sure that this is the exact same size. So we also need let mute colors equals a new vec of nothing, which means we need to go get the rand crate. Something which I think, was it Katali or Stacking, was it you who were lamenting the fact that rand is still not in the standard library? Hey, I've already got rand in here. What do you know? Which means I need documentation. Everyone laments it. Well, maybe not the right people, because then if the right people lamented it, maybe they'd do something about it. I wonder how many pull requests there are for rand into the standard library. Color from, right, I need to pull in, okay, so use rand prelude. Here's a question. Is this really a best practice to always just bring in everything into the namespace? Oh, we're gonna do some cool. Probably gonna be able to do some cool stuff with this, but so we'll use rand prelude. So we'll bring in the prelude. What are you upset about? Oh yeah, because I haven't pushed into you yet. So we're going to do color from RGB, and then we're going to generate random a range between 0 and 1. It needs to be an F32. Yeah. Okay, so here is colors.push. All right, so it's 3 things. So we're going to get graphics, color. Oh, come on. Color from. Oh, don't make me go look this up. Oh, interesting. So from RGBA does allow me to do 0 to 255, whereas new only wants 0 to 1. Interesting. Okay, that is interesting. So from RGBA, returns a new color, doesn't take in self, so I don't need it. It's just : : so from RGBA. All right, so our red. What is this going to be? This is going to be rand R&D. Oh man, use RGB since you don't care about the alpha value. Well, I mean, no matter what, it has the alpha value. It's the alpha in here. Oh, RGBA. Yeah. Got it. RGB. Okay, so RND dot gen range. Do you exist? I still don't see that. Is the prelude coming in? But I always like feel I need to go take a look at that. Or do I need to do like the thread range for 2? Well, let's try what you have, Katali. So rnd.gen range 0 to 255. And then we'll just repeat that. Three times. And then we should be good. From RGB doesn't return anything. And then RND, you are not. You don't exist. Oh, I need to use rand RNG. And I hoped it brought it in with that. Okay, so let's try this. Rand so you're about rand RNG. There we go. Is it colon colon? Hey. Okay, so use rand RNG. Okay, yeah, so I do need to use this thread range thing. So what is this? This is mute RNG. Okay, yeah, I need to do that. I was hoping that you like were showing me a shortcut so I wouldn't have to do that, but okay, fine. So when I create a new one, we're gonna use let RNG equals rand thread range like that, then RNG is it just dot gen range now? I think it is. Does this return? It returns a type. Panics. All right, what are you upset about? Expected, not a semicolon. Oh, because it's a push. So I'm just pushing that to there. You need a semicolon here. Cannot borrow RNG is mutable. So we need to make you mutable. Oh, interesting. I don't need the parentheses. For some reason, I thought I needed those. All right, I need to full screen this. I could also multi-line this too. That might be easier. Okay, so we're going to create these three colors that are between 0 and 255 in a from RGB. Push that into the colors. So now we have the colors and the heights. Heights is now just going to be heights, and colors is just going to be colors. Now the size, the width is just 20.0. I now have 20 of them, so I actually have to like calculate this properly. We want, let's actually make this as like a number in here. So like let, like rectangle count, like how many of these, how many random counts? So what should I call this variable? It's going to be the number of rectangles. So how about just rectangle count? We'll make this 20. And rectangle count there, which means I'm also going to then say the width is going to be, okay, we also need that, so we have our context here. Window width and window height equals context dot drawable size. Is that colon? It is. Oh, it's graphics. There, we got that. We're getting window width, and so now width is going to be, I think it's just the width itself. So it's the number of them divided by, and not the other way around. So our rectangle count divided by, oh, this needs to be an as. So as F32 divided by window width. Okay. And you are not being used here, so we'll underscore you. Now we're just gonna loop through all 20 of these and draw them. Let's also not make them all 0.0. Let's make them like 15.0, just to see them on the screen. So that's cool. None of them showed up. All the way around. Whoa, okay. I always get this backwards. It's like math is hard. Okay, so we want window width divided by. Let's try it. Hey, there we are. So let's see, do we have 20? Perfectly. Okay. Excellent. So then I want to loop through each of these. So if I set this back to 0, 0.0. Thank you for turning it off. Loop through each of these, and then in the update, and increment it by 1. Is our random, will that give us a random index? It's like, I know they have a lot of helper methods on here, so maybe there's some cool stuff we could do with a vector. Okay, if you're calling random in a loop, caching the generator as in the following example can increase performance. Okay, so use rand RNG. Random. Okay, so that might be interesting if I want to cache that into a structure. Oh, I need to set the rand from 0 to 256, right? Because it's not inclusive. Good point. Done. But I want to get a random choice of a vector. I'm not familiar enough with random, because I don't think any of these are what I want. And what are we doing here? So we're getting RNG from rand thread RNG. So this is type thread RNG. So then I'm able to run like gen range on it. Where is that? As the function that's available off of this struct. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Is there like a vector? There's gen. Return a random value. Gen range. Sample. I don't think that's what I want. Sample iterator. Fill. Probably not a Boolean, not a ratio. It probably is a range. What am I looking for? I mean, I kind of want to just get a random. I was hoping that I could just say, like, give me the reference to the index, like the point in a vector, and then I could just increment that by 1. But I don't know if that's like actually the best way to do it. I think a rand range is probably the best, because this is like creating a vector. Dice rolling. Oh, see, that's creating dice range. Yeah, see, it's like a bunch of them. Like a choice function. I mean, yeah, I just needed an index between 0 and the length of the vector. So I think I just want to do this. Also, what are you upset about? Oh no, literal out of range for U8. Huh. Does gen range only take U8s? No, it's a generic. Yeah, so randomly choose some index to increase that bar. Yes, exactly that's what it is. All right, well, apparently it's not aware that it's going to choose only a 255. which is a little bit sad. So we'll just have to keep it 255. It will never be pure black, which is fine. We wouldn't want it to be pure black anyways. So let's ignore the idea of storing the generator. So just every loop will do this. We need to create this thread range, so RNG. I don't know if I can store this in the struct. So I'm just not going to worry about it right now. So inside of here, we're going to create a random generator. We're also going to say let our random index equals RNG dot genRange 0, and then I need the length. So how do I get this lang vector length? Not capacity, lane. So just dot length on it, 8 on length. So this will be self dot height dot length. So that will give us which index to increment, and now we'll say self dot height of index equals self dot heights of index plus do I want one? Let's try 1.0 for right now. Wait, is there a built-in function for what I want to do? For like getting a random one? I didn't think there was any random things built in. Also, I don't, because I don't have this, because this monitor is mirrored, I don't have the chat up on this computer. Let's see if I can find it. How can I randomly select one element from a vector or array? Rust. You want the rand crate, specifically the choose method. Ooh, okay. Use rand sequence slice random. So we create our vector, choose thread range. Oh, interesting. So vs choose. Returns a reference to one random element of the slice, or none if the slice is empty. Depending upon the implementation, complexity is expected to be O of 1. Oh, that's perfect. So choices, that's just an array, but I guess I can use it to a vector too. So choices dot choose. Huh, okay, so mutable equals that. I could also use choose mute, which I'm guessing that's what I want. Choose mutable, so then I can update it. Let's try that. So here we have our random thread. So let mutable height. Or maybe I'll just, what it is, it's the rectangle height equals, this is going to be self dot heights dot choose a reference, a mutable reference to RNG. Oh, it's not choose. We want choose mute. This is going to return an option. Oh, I forget how to get, oh, it's a sum, right? I don't think, because like question mark will do result. So it's gonna be a sum, but we can just print this out. So we get our mutable choice. Hold on, that's not you right now. What do you think you are? So this is an option. We want sum. Oh, we can use our if sum. Remember to add, oh yeah, we need to bring that in too. Rand sequence slice rand. Unless the prelude actually has it. Okay. Then in here, what are, very well, oh yeah. Let's not worry about that right this second. Compiler, we're okay. So if let sum, so if I just run this, so if let sum, this is going to be a height equals, this is going to be the rectangle height. Then we get this rectangle height. Do I need this to be mutable too? I then want to say height equals height plus 1. I don't need the else. Ooh, about 0. So you were able to figure that out. So that's a good sign. Binary operation cannot be applied to type. Okay, so I need a dereference height. Mismatch types, expected reference to mute 32, found F32. Wait, which side is it? I can't do something like this, right? Say, tell this mute here. No, because I think it already is. I need to get better information. Let's just run it and see where the error really is. So height equals, okay. Expected reference to mute 32, found F32. Is it this that is the problem? Oh, it's this. Consider dereferencing here to assign to the mutable. Oh, okay. So dereference here also. Variable does not need to be mutable because it's set there. Okay. Will you work? Look at it, it's working. So we can now see how our random crate, the distribution of numbers across them all. And we can almost like race which ones are happening. This is nice and pretty cool. We can put bets on which number is it working. Is going to be faster. Clearly, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 4 is it's going to win. It would also be pretty cool to like as soon as one reaches the top, then just like restart over again. How would I do that? I would just, if I keep the colors the same, all I need to do is detect if any of the heights are now like greater than the height of the window and just reset all of them to 0.0. So we can do that really quickly, and then I'll probably call it a morning. So first of all, let's random numbers are, let's see, random distribution is being displayed. What else would I call it? Okay, so I want to, in update, after I look at this, I want to see if any of the numbers. You know what might be interesting is no, I'm just gonna have it reset. Okay, so if we're gonna increase, after we increase, we also want to see. Not here. We need to loop through the entire set. So we're going to do a for loop. So for height in self.heights. I don't. Do I need to care about the iterators? Also, why are you upset? Cannot move out of self.heights, which is behind a mutable reference. Move occurs because self.heights has type standardvec32, which does not implement the copy trait. Oh, I need a mutable version of this. Would it be a reference to it? Yeah. But maybe not that. I need to convert this into an iter. And then enumerate. And this will give me index and the height. So now I can say if, I also need the window. Okay, so we also need to grab the window. So let window width, so we don't care about that. And window height equals, this is gonna be graphics drawable size, context. So if the height is greater than the window height, wait, that's not how it works. It's no parentheses. So if height is greater than window height, you can use vec 0 rectangle number to avoid using a loop. Oh, interesting. Use a vec 0 rectangle number. Where was that? That was... Was that to like create the rectangles up here? Just not do that. That creates a vector full of zeros with length rectangle number. Ah, and interesting. But my guess is that I couldn't use that trick to create completely different random numbers. I kind of like doing, well, okay. I'll come back and try that in a second. Let me finish this one first. Also, I need to use context for real. So if height is greater than window height, what do I need to do? And also, how does if work? Is it a block like that? I think it is. Expected reference to F32 found in F32. So we need to borrow here. So you use a reference to it. All right, first things, I want to print out who won. So I'm just gonna print into the console. So print line. So won the race. That's gonna be our index. But then the next thing I want to do is reset this. I mean, since we're on this conversation, can we nitpick at the use of a heap allocation in the first place? You mean using a vector instead of just a pure array? I mean, yeah, we can nitpick that. I mean, this entire application is I think an exercise in not being very efficient. And then I want to reset that there. Do I want to like just reassign and just like create a new one, or iterate through and just set them all to zeros? One would have to be a loop, and the other one would just like be a reassignment. So if I were to do the trick, Catali's trick, where I just say self.heights and just reset this, I don't actually know if it will let me do this. Let's try it. 0 to can I do this? Self.heights.length. This seems like really silly to do. Zero dot zero. Cannot assign because it is borrowed. Assignment to borrowed occurs here. Yeah, so it's super unhappy about that. I think an actual loop through this would be best. what I probably want to do is just do a for loop, and I mean what I really want to do is actually just call a function. So we'll just do self.reset like that. Implement game, we have function, public function new. We'll get function reset. We'll get a mutable reference to self. We're not returning anything. We're just going to mutate self. You're unhappy. Oh, is it just mutable self? Oh, the reference goes in front of mute. Now I want to iterate through the vector, and then later on we can maybe try replacing it with an array, but I'm just not going to worry about that. We could just nitpick that all we want. So we're going to, we just need to get the index. Is there a way to only get the index? Or is enumerate the only way? Oh, I just, okay, so for index in self.heights.length, like that. And then I'm going to say, okay, self.heights of position index equals 0.0. Just set that there. So we're going to call reset. Cannot borrow self as mutable because it's also borrowed as immutable. Oh, that's fun. Wait, so that's, it is mutable. Okay, so line 57, immutable borrow here. Ah, okay, so I need a reference to it here. But now this is, okay, so I can't do that. Print run the race. Oh, I also need like break, so it doesn't happen multiple times. Right, because this thinks it might happen multiple times, which of course it can't. So if I break, break with value from a for loop, can only break with the value inside loop or breakable block. Oh wait, is it like that? Oh, okay, yeah. So it's not a function. It's just a statement. All right, well, no errors. Shall we try it? All right, who do we think is going to win? 0 through 19. If I wanted to really make this a race, we could put like the actual values down here, so it'd be easier to like see who's winning. All right, Miguel guesses 8. Katali guesses 14. Betting 200 fake dollars. I don't know. 0 is looking good. 0 won the race, and we reset. So sorry, Miguel, you lost $200. Luckily, I don't have like any system for you to actually bet for real. But yeah, now we can just like have this running forever and taking up all my CPU. So cool. Also taking up all my memory because I'm not using I'm not properly using like an array. I'm using a heap. We can hook this up to a Twitch bot and get betting going. Oh man, that would be really cool. It would also be cool to set this up as like as an actual voting system. So like I can set what the votes are gonna be, and then you all can like make a bet, make like a vote in the chat, and that would cause these to rise up depending upon which one I'm going. Nope, not gonna set a micropayment for that. But this is cool. So this is what we did. We created a random number generator visualization so as to see what the distribution of random numbers across a scale of 0 through 20. I can, in fact, do this more than just 20. I can make this 100, so make it a percentage. This is going to be very colorful. And we can see these grow very slowly up, and then sort of watch as like how the random numbers are really distributed. And because they're relatively even back and forth, we can tell that they're as random as we want them to be. It does indeed show that random isn't truly random, but what are we going to do? There is no true random ever. But if we're going to take a look at the Nature of Code game, or the Nature of Code book, there's some other sort of sections here of how to change random numbers to not be really random. Like, for example, this is a random walker that mostly moves to the right, even though it can move up and down. But we could also use like a Gaussian. Is it Gaussian or Gaussian? I don't know what the proper pronunciation is, which basically just means that most of the random would be near the center. And of course, my favorite, which is the Monte Carlo random, which is on like an x. What is it? It's not linear. It's exponential. So it'd be like the 0 here would be almost never called, and 100 would be or 99 would be almost always called. So it would be like this. You can always try to use the uniform part of the random library. Wait, does that have that? Provided methods, gen. See also the uniform distribution type, which may be faster if sampling from the same range repeatedly. When sampling from a constant range, many calculations can happen at compile time. Interesting. I'm not sure I want it to happen at compile time. But you know what? It is late enough. I want to sort of move on. I do have some stuff I need to take care of today. So if I do have time, I'll like do some. I'm not sure exactly what stream I would do later today. If I did a stream, it would probably just be like more of a focus stream, or just sort of hanging out and building something. And at the same time, I would switch over and play a little bit of Factorio. So if I were to do that, I would tweet out. I have a link to my Twitter down below. So that way, in case you want to pay attention. Otherwise, my next planned stream is going to be on Wednesday morning at 6:45 a.m. This takes a heck of a lot longer to run because it's only one number increasing per frame, and I have no idea what my frame rate is. But I am going to push this on up. So random distribution for 100 numbers. Push you on up. Yes, have a great Labor Day too, Kotali. And with that, I am going to go ahead and get this pushed up to YouTube. And I'll switch over to the ending screen. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your Monday. Your Labor Day is in May, but thanks anyways. Well, I mean, my Labor Day is today, your Labor Day is May, well, whatever. Hopefully we'll have a great day regardless of whether or not you have a holiday. And then I'll see you whenever my next time is Wednesday officially. I may or may not stream later today. All right, with that, I'll see you next time.